high school.
Yeah.
Mason going to Georgia.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And he won the U.S. amateur, not the junior, the amateur.
He could be the next Billy
So he's
Andrade.
going.
No, he's gonna be way better than me.
So he's going against all the top college golfers in America, and he won U.S. Amateur.
he beat them all.
It's like the kid.
That's amazing
That
stuff.
is, wow.
Yeah,
amazing.
give us some context for that.
I mean, come on, being in high school.
The top recruited golfers in the world who are going to whatever schools they are, Georgia and
I
Georgia
was-
Tech, Oklahoma State, and Wake
Yeah.
Forest,
Florida State.
Sure.
Florida State, and he's beat everybody.
beat
as a high
everybody
school
in the
kid.
U.S. amateur, which
Wow.
is being
That's-
a high school kid doing that. When I was in high school, my senior year, I was going to Wake Forest, and it was I was on my way to Wake Forest. I missed the first week of school at Wake Forest because I was playing the U.S. amateur in 1982 at the Country Club in Brookline, and I lost in the first round of match play. I played well in the qualifying. It was 36-hole qualifying, 200 players down to low 64. I was one of the top for the first 2 days, shot a couple of 71s or something. And I played Randy Reifers, who is Kyle Reifers, who played the tour for a long time and went to Wake Forest. I played his dad, and his dad beat me, and off of college I went. So I lost in the first round. This kid won it all. He beat everybody. And I think
Wild.
he also played on the Walker Cup team. And not too many high school kids play on the Walker. The Walker Cup is equivalent to the Ryder Cup.
Yep.
But it's for college. It's for amateurs. It's not a pro thing. 10 players. He's one of the 10 best amateur golfers in the country. And now he's got the opportunity to go to the University of Georgia and continue that legacy that Chris Hack has started. And I guess Chris is retiring after this year.
Look
And,
at the legacy he has built.
Oh,
there.
my gosh. Amazing.
Talk about the Georgia players that you're familiar with.
Oh, I mean, start. Where do you want to start? I mean, before he got there, they were good, but when he got there, with Kevin Kistner, Brendan Todd, they won. It's amazing they haven't won more national championships with the talent they've had.
Yeah.
Harris English. I mean, those guys, amazing.
Georgia
Brian
has six
Harmon.
players. But there you go. There's your six. Harris English, Brian Harmon, Russell Henley, Sap Strucka, Baba Watson, and Mason is playing. They're counting him as well.
Yeah,
Tremendous.
amazing.
So tell us a little bit behind the scenes. We'll talk about stuff that you've been around because you've been so many years, and you do look great. By the way, I will say, like, what you got a good moisturizer or something? You like your wife keeps you like you got a good
Portuguese.
You got a great head of hair, and you got like no wrinkles or something. I don't know what's going on over there because you're not a young man. I'll just say that.
62, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
So you got me by a couple of years. So let me ask you the rivalry because Arnold Palmer's a good friend of yours. The rivalry of Arnold and Jack, how real was it, and what was the interaction when you'd see them together? And then dovetail that into being on tour with Tiger. His rivalry with Phil, I guess it was. But start with Arnie and Jack. How historically, what was that about, and how real was it?
Well, I think Arnold put PGA Tour golf on the map. I think Arnold, and it was at the Masters. When he was a young player in 1958, he won his first. Then he won in 60, 62, 64. And I think in 64 was when television golf became very popular. So now you got this tournament in April. Everybody around the United States in the cold weather climates are watching the Masters, and that's what I did as a little kid.
Yeah.
You probably did too.
Born in Rhode Island, yeah.
And those guys, those two, Jack came on the scene in 62, I believe, and he was great from the start. So I don't think there was a lot of love lost. Their relationship was not about love. It was about who can beat who, and that happened for a while.
Arnie's Army looking at this kid as kind of a
Threat,
yeah,
and he was a threat.
Swashbuckling young guy with a certain.
And they, Arnie's fans were all over Jack for being fat. Fat Jack was his nickname. So they were. It was a real thing. And then in the late 60s, they formed the PGA Tour, and those two guys got together and did that. Mark McCormick and IMG had them both there for a little while. Then Jack left. I don't know why. And then I got to know these two great players, the two greatest of all time, when I got into the game of golf, when I played in the Masters as an amateur, when I was, in college at Wake Forest, and Jackie Nicklaus Jr. was at North Carolina, and we were friends. So I got to know the Mr. Nicklaus, stayed at their house when I was in college. Stuff, really cool things like that. So
Compare their personalities.
Jack and Arnie.
Yeah.
Jack and Arnie, as they got older, became very close.
They did.
Jack had a nice eulogy at Arnold's funeral that my wife and I were at, and it was fabulous. But
they're different guys, right?
Oh,
Jack
completely.
much more reserved.
It's so interesting. I tell people this all the time. Jack on the golf course was very conservative. Hit the middle of the green, didn't miss a lot of greens, didn't go for stuff, fairways and then greens, and he was an unbelievable putter and all that. And then in business, Jack was, he tried to hit a home run every time.
Right.
And then you got Arnold Palmer on the golf course. There wasn't a pin that he didn't go for. He went for everything. The percentages. No, hit it over here. No, he went right at it, and he'd hit it in the water maybe, and he'd make a double. But he didn't care. He just went for it on the golf course. Off the golf course, as a business person, he hit singles. He didn't go for home runs. And Arnold Palmer, to this day, his name and likeness and all that family's still making a ton of money. Yeah. And it's just interesting how on the course they were completely different, and off the course they were also completely different. You walk in a room with Jack. I love both of them. I love Jack, and I loved Arnold. You walk in a room with Jack, and Jack's there. You're a little bit on pins and needles. You don't know where you stand. He may throw a little jab at you, and you kind of laugh and ha, whatever. You walk in the room with Arnold, he wants to buy you a beer. He wants to give you a hug. He wants to sit down with you on the couch. He wants to get to know you, and he makes you. He made anyone that is, and I'm saying this, that anyone out there that has met Arnold Palmer knows this, is that he makes you feel like you're the special person, not him. And that's a wonderful trait to have. Yeah,
that's an incredible testament to him. You were on the tour when Tiger was, the apex, the biggest star in the world, not just, certainly in sports he was. How different was the tour when Tiger was around a tournament and when he was not? How tangible was that?
Well, let me just start by saying I met Tiger Woods. One of the first times was at North Druid Hills Country Club when Stanford came in to play Georgia Tech in a little match.
Exhibition.
So you had Tiger playing against Stuart Sink, these college kids, and I went out there to watch because I wanted to see how great this kid was. I heard a lot about him. And then he left North Druid Hills to go to Augusta National and play in the Masters for the first time as an amateur. And I think that was around 1995. And then he came on the scene in 96 in the fall, and he took the PGA Tour by storm. Before he showed up, we never had security. We never had people that were escorting the players from the parking lot to the locker room, to the fitness van, and then to the first tee, and then having security people follow him the whole round. So he changed the PGA Tour as far as security goes. So we have former FBI agents that now run security for the PGA Tour. So in the twilight of their careers, they're out there watching these great players play. So it's always the top 2 or 3. So maybe now it may be 4 or 5. So it might be more now in today's game. But these guys were always out there. And when Tiger showed up at a tournament, it was rock star status, standing room only. But they were only following him. They're not following the rest of us.
Yeah.
And
he knew that.
Of course he did. He took advantage of it.
He was well aware of
it.
his status.
Yeah, when he putted out, everybody would run to the next tee, and then, there's 2 other guys that got to putt out.
Did he have any relationships on the tour with other folks, or was it an intimidation factor with him? Or
I don't think he was close to anybody that was in the top 10 or 15 that are trying to knock him off the pedestal. His friends were John Cook and Mark O'Meara, and they were both 20, 30 years older than him. So it wasn't he didn't want to.
He didn't like Phil any less than anybody else. It was just anybody who was in his way.
He did not like Phil.
He did not.
No. He was.
What did he like the least about him?
Well, he didn't like him because he was good. He was really good, and he didn't want him to take him off his perch. So there was no love lost.